Today, let's talk about yard sales because the weather is finally getting there.
Come on
and
over
we know
to
that
mine.
there are people that are very serious about their yard sales.
You know
Let me
what?
tell
And
ya.
I have to say, I am very serious about my yard sales, hosting them and shopping them. And it's my favorite season because now is the perfect time to start thinking about hosting your yard sale. Because you really do need to be prepared. That's one of the biggest tips I could give homeowners is don't just decide, hey, we've got a garage full of junk. Maybe this weekend we should try to sell it. Prepare.
How much preparation are we talking about?
Honestly, you want to have about a month. And I'll tell you why. Because first of all, there's the commitment factor. You need to commit to holding it. And then not only that, if you give yourself enough time, you'll start to source your own house and notice things that you don't use anymore that you can get rid of. So start making the piles right away.
Okay.
So the first thing is absolutely commit to a date. One of the best ways to do that is to drop a little note in all of your neighbor's mailbox. So that's for you.
This is your yard sale note?
This is,
you
know
are
what?
fancy.
It's just a piece of ribbon from the dollar store and a good old piece of paper, and it says we're having a yard sale.
That is so smart.
And at the bottom, so it's got the date and the time.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is it says the more the merrier at the bottom. Encourage your neighbors to get involved and host it with you because there's power in numbers for your yard sale. If you can have a street sale, then you're going to muster up a whole lot more interest and make better sales and bigger sales. So once you commit, you need to start thinking about advertising for your yard sale. So about a week ahead, start hitting the social media. If you have Facebook, Twitter, Kijiji, and Craigslist, you can post on there as well. Any online forums.
Again? I thought back in the day it was just
that.
A handwritten sign in crayon.
Or these, right?
And it was taped on a pole.
Well, these come the day of.
Okay.
Or even the night before, late into the evening.
Where'd you get these
This
ones?
was the dollar store.
Oh,
and
that's
this one I
good.
thought was really great because it's got the built-in arrow from the dollar store as well, and little stakes that it can go right into the ground.
All right.
So arrow is really important. The only thing you really need to put on this is the address, and possibly an arrow if it doesn't have one. We just want to direct people to it. Don't get writing really wordy things. When someone's at a stop sign, they're not going to stop and read everything. We just want to get people to you. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
But if you're advertising in the newspaper, then you can really put emphasis on what you have the most of to try to drive those people to your yard sale. So if it's kids' toys, advertise oodles of kids' toys. Come and check them out. If it's home goods, DIY or craft sale, things like that, you want to get the right buyers to you.
I made the mistake of not doing that, and it was all high heels. Everybody in my neighborhood was like, they're really cute, but I'm not wearing these. I didn't sell any. I sold one pair.
Speaking of high heels, if you have high heels at your yard sale and you've advertised that it's high heels, I will be scouting the newspaper for next time you have that sale. I don't know what size shoes you have, but we'll figure that out. But it's all about then displaying your yard sale. You really need to actually give some thought. Gone are the days where you just throw a blanket down on the grass and pile a whole bunch of stuff on it. That's hard for people to bend over and see everything. Get a folding table, really inexpensive folding table, a card table. A lot of people have them kicking around. Put a bed sheet over it. It doesn't have to be a tablecloth, but everything just looks cleaner and crisper on white. Even if it's dirty, you want to clean it up a little bit before the yard sale. But then we want to start to group things, collect them a little bit. So we've got, if you notice, the shoes down front there, and the shoes have a sign on them. You want to make pricing really simple, that it's a flat price no matter what pair of shoes you buy.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
When you're displaying, pricing is so important, just to simplify. And what really helped me is finding this pack at the dollar store of stickers with the prices already made, so you don't have to write them out.
Oh, that's
you just slap a sticker.
And it's going to look very organized.
It does look organized.
$2 per pair, is that the norm? Because maybe I was overcharging.
Your shoes are probably a little different class than mine.
Good shoes, but I don't know.
Well, you know what? On the kind of loose way of pricing is any clothing garments, about 10 to 15% of the original value price.
Okay.
You want to put them.
I was okay
So
then.
with clothing as well, back here you'll notice that I've got price tags on them. Everything's really simple.
Yes.
It makes it more intimidating if it's not priced for someone then to start haggling with you.
Right.
So we want to make sure everything's clearly priced. And a rolling rack for clothes. Don't just throw them in a bin. Have a rolling rack. They're inexpensive to buy, but for about $10, you can rent them from party places that hold events.
Oh, I
so you
didn't
can just
realize
have it for the day of. You don't want to buy it if you're never going to use it.
I went out and bought a couple, but
you can rent them.
That's a very smart idea.
Renting them.
So you don't want to have things that are $5.99.
No.
$6.75.
Well, no pennies, right?
Yeah.
There's no calculations.
Don't do that.
No. Make it simple.
Okay.
And then group things together. So you'll notice in the case of the kitchenware and the books, I've given kind of a value price. If you buy more than one, you get a kind of bulk pricing on things. We want to move things. That's the point, really, of the yard sale.
Right.
So once everything's displayed, we need to think about making the sale.
Let's talk a little bit about this haggling, because I break out into a cold sweat.
Well, you know what? There's haggling.
Most
people think of it as being the buyer, but you have to be prepared as the seller. So first things first, if there's things of real value that you're not going to waver on, stick to your price. But if it's valuable, go to a consignment store, go somewhere else and get the value out of it. Otherwise, the goal is we just want to get rid of it. Right?
So are you going to fight back when she comes here in your beautiful pair of men's shoes and she says, I'll give you 50 cents?
You know what I would do?
What?
I'll take $1 for 2 pairs. I just want to move the stuff.
So
get me a little bit more money.
That.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, right.
You got to lose the emotional attachment. You're selling it for a reason, right?
Okay.
So fanny packet. Fill it full of change. I know you thought I was wearing this purely for fashion.
Wear it proudly,
today.
people. Wear it proudly.
Right? I know how lovely that is. This is the one time where you can really rock the fanny pack.
Totally.
And the other thing that you want to do is actually, this is being a very nice seller, have some bags and some newspaper to wrap any breakables.
Yes, I'm coming to your yard sale. And I know you are doing one. We're going to talk about it a little bit later.
I am, yes.